All right, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Doing another pre-recorded video because I'll be going back to work here in a few days, and then I'm going to be going on vacation. So I need to get another video out. I'm actually shooting this, so I think it's Wednesday the 28th, and I don't have any clue when this is going to go out. So whenever you see it, you see it. I hope you like it. You guys have seen this knife because I treated the scales on it with the Wicked Wax, but I wanted to get a more in-depth look at this knife, the box, kind of what comes in it, what year it was, things like that. But if we look, this is a Remington trademark knife. It is, you see, you got the Remington UMC on that side. There's so much stuff in the box you can barely shut it. And on this side it has the Remington UMC 1 R1128. I don't know why it's not focusing. There we go. 1RR128. R1128. There we go. Kind of sounds stupid when I was trying to say that, but want to open this up and we'll get a look at what's inside of it and why you can barely get the thing shut. I'm sure when it come from the factory you could shut it good, and it was probably taped probably as well, but let's just look at what we have here. It's just a sticker that my buddy puts on them before he sells them. Another sticker. That's an old one. Look how yellow that is. It's old. 1989 on one side and $65 on the other. I didn't pay that for it, but got the original paper that the knife is in. This knife usually isn't packaged up. I repackaged it, so. Well, if you look, it's a Remington Jumbo Trapper. This is a very large trapper knife. The video I made there not too long ago, I treated the scales with Wicked Wax. I talk about Wicked Wax quite a bit. But let's look at what else comes in this. We got a couple of different pieces of paper. And I'll put pictures up of these papers as well, so you'll be able to see these at the beginning and you can pause it. We have the Remington Collector's Edition paperwork. One receipt of your knife. Complete this form and mail to Remington Cutlery Division. You don't need me to read all that, but you can see right there. If you want to register it, I don't know if that place is even around anymore. I'm sure they got their mail forwarded. And this talks about the knife. This gives you a kind of a rundown. I have other bullet type knives, and this kind of gives you a rundown of the knife, what it's called, what it's made out of. If you look at the second paragraph, we'll focus on that. The hand-honed blade is made of 440 stainless steel, tempered to a Rockwell hardness of 56 to 59. Liners are of non-rusting brass. The handle is made of beautiful grain Coca-Cola wood, manufactured and assembled in the United States by skilled American craftsmen. So that second paragraph there really tells you what it's made out of, and down here it kind of tells you how to take care of your knife. So I think everyone knows how to do all that stuff. But got so much stuff in this little, and we look how little this box is. You know, you look at the box compared to the actual knife, and then you got to fit all this stuff inside the box as well. So, but you know, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it for what it is. So now we'll just kind of look at the knife itself. We're going to open it up. First, let's measure it. Let's just see how big it is. Let's just put it on the tin here. So closed, it goes over to 14.5 inches. So it is 4.5 inches closed. And the blades are probably the same, identical length. But let's put her on the 5 here. And let's go. It goes all the way to the 13. So this thing is a full 8 inches long open. Let's see, the blade, the clip point blade is the cutting length. It's going to be, it goes from the 10 to 3 and, let's say 3 3/8. So 3 3/8 inches long on that blade. This blade doesn't have anything on it except for the model number. Now if we look here, it has the R1128 on that side on the tang, and over here it's got the Remington, made in the USA. Probably got that UMC on there somewhere. Yeah, it does, underneath the Remington. Then we have a spade point blade as well. It's got the year on it, 1989. So this is an old knife. Then on this side, you got the Remington trademark on the actual spade point blade. And then down there you got your tang stamp that mirrors the tang stamp on the clip point as well. Nice bullet shield knife. I got quite a few of these bullet shield knives and I like them. So if you look, it's got 1, 2, 3 pin construction on the scales. We got a lanyard hole with a brass liner on the lanyard hole itself. And on this side it has a little flaw. I talked about that when I was putting the wax on there. It's got a little flaw in the wood right there, but I think that's why he gave it to me. I think I got this for 45 or 50 bucks. That's what I paid for it. Yeah, overall it's a pretty clean knife. We look at the back springs. No gaps whatsoever all the way around. And I like these knives because it doesn't have bolsters at both ends. It's got the bolsters on this end, but on this end, you know, your springs come up and ride completely to where your blades close. If we look here, you know, you got your blade stuff kind of recessed in there. Now, I know the newer GECs, somehow they get all that real nice and flush, I believe. I don't have a GEC Model 23, but I think this is similar to a Model 23 GEC. So yeah, it is a nice knife. A big knife. I mean, I'm a big guy. I've said that before. I'm 6'1", like 250, 255. If we look at that, I mean, I've got all my fingers on this. So if we go all the way up, look how much sticks out at the bottom. Probably 3/4 to an inch. So yeah, I mean, you could definitely hunt with this. I don't know what you're using this to skin if you're trapping something, but this is more of, I would say, a bigger game style knife. But I would never, you know, try to butcher a deer or something with this because I always got to have something that locks or a fixed blade. But let's listen to the snap here. Let's listen to the walk and talk. Not bad at all on the clip point. Let's pull open the spay. The spay blade. That spay has got some fatness to it, don't it? Look at that. Just some girth. That's not too awful impressive, but, you know, 1989. You know, a lot of people that watching these videos probably weren't even born in 1989, you know. How many years is that? What is that? 23, about 20, you know, old. 33 years old, this knife is. So yeah, and that is clean for being 33, going on 34, because we're getting ready to turn the year here. But we'll compare it to just a regular case trapper. I've broke this knife out to compare before. Really don't like this knife, but we look, this is a full-size case trapper. It's not the dog leg, it's just a regular case trapper, but let's open these up and kind of compare. I mean, there is some difference there. I guess that's why they call her a jumbo trapper. So yeah, this knife right here I just don't have the walk and talk. Ugh, man, it makes my stomach hurt every time I hear that noise. So yeah, I mean, they label this just as a trapper, but I mean, I would definitely call this a jumbo trapper just because of the size of this knife, the overall size. And then, you know, if you even wanted to compare it to a mini trapper, which I got some of those, but I mean, that would even be smaller. But I like this knife a lot. I think I got a pretty decent deal. When I bought this knife, also had him throw in this one here for a little bit off as well, because this is called the Maverick Moose, but the back side of it's not very shiny and kind of dull. I don't know if they had this laying in something or what, but I don't know. I don't care about that. I think that's like an 05 model, where this is an 89. I love anything pre-90s. I kind of like, so yeah, look at the springs. No gaps. Beautiful wood. And that flaw, like, that don't bother me a bit. Not one. I don't know if maybe it came from the fact. I mean, this hasn't been used at all. I mean, you can tell by looking at this knife, no one's really used this for anything. So to say it was damaged in use, I very seriously doubt. I would assume that this came from the factory with that flaw. And I say when they were driving that lanyard brass pin through there, I'd say it may have caught and chipped some of that wood out. But, you know, not bad. Let's look at the centering. Now we are showing a little bit to the pile side with this spay point blade. Same with the clip point. They both kind of ride to the pile side of the knife, which is the back side. So they ride a little bit to the pile side, no big deal. But I mean, when you got blades of this freaking big, I mean, I don't know how you are going to keep it from moving or showing or anything like that. But I know the GECs, they're going to come probably perfectly centered, but, you know, yeah, there's a look at her in all of her glory. Just another shout out I want to do, Boston Blade Works, or Boston Blade Reviews. Boston Blade Reviews. Get over there, watch his channel, man. That guy, every buck you can imagine he has. And then the other day he put a video out of some Benchmade bug outs, and not just basic bug outs. I'm talking the S90V carbon fiber bug out. ASR Knife Works. That guy's always supporting my channel. There's a couple of guys. There's a Tyler Gibson. He actually is from the same state I'm from. Didn't know that till started talking to him and mailed him a sticker, and he sent me his address. I was like, hey, well, you know, I grew up in West Virginia, and, you know, when I moved out of West Virginia, I moved within probably 40 minutes of where he actually lives, and I moved to Paintsville, Kentucky for a couple of years for work. So it's always nice, you know, when you're communicating and you find out this world's pretty small after all. But yeah, just a couple guys I want to mention. Patty's Potato Peelers. He threw me some support the other day. I love watching his videos. He's got every knife under the sun as well. Talking about the Jack Wolfs. I think he's going to do a giveaway with the Jack Wolfs as well. Jersey Knife Guy. You can see I always support him. He's right there. I mean, every video I put out, he's like the first to comment. I mean, that guy, he puts out the content, though. He has got a collection and a half. I mean, all these guys are just very supportive, and I appreciate it. You know, I've only got maybe 295 subs. I do want to, when I hit 500, I am going to have a giveaway, though. I'll probably buy, I don't know. I'm big into American-made knives, but one of my favorite EDCs that I like to just toy around with and take and just don't care about is a Civivi. So I may get a Civivi, or maybe a case off of my buddy out at the flea market if I can get a good deal, and one that's got some walk and talk to it. You know, I just don't want to send someone some case knife that doesn't have any walk and talk. So, and the, you know, it actually looks decent. So, but yeah, big thanks to all them guys I mentioned. Get over there, support them. ASR Knife Works, Boston Blade Reviews, Patty's, Jersey Knife Guy. All of them. Get over there, support them, throw them a shout out, talk to them, subscribe, like and subscribe to this channel as well if you got time. I know my content ain't the greatest, but, you know, I try to put out 2 videos a week. I try to put out one on Tuesdays and one on Friday, so I kind of pre-record them that way if I'm working or I get really busy. Because if you guys watch any of my videos, you know, I put in some lifting videos as well, so that's kind of like my second job, and this is kind of my third job. So even though they're not real jobs, I treat them pretty serious. So that's a lot of time and effort I put in the gym and this knife thing and the knife community. So yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Leave a comment if you can. All right. Have a good one. Have a Happy New Year, everybody.